good.
Well, unlike everybody else slowing down, this is not my slow time, so. you wanna take
It's go time.
This is
go
go
time.
time, yeah, that's right.
Go
We're
time.
actually running a little ahead this year, which is kinda nice. We're not gonna be so backed up right around Christmas, which I'm gonna enjoy for a change, but. So there's two different things, there's a little, I think it's a one page, yeah, front and
Yeah.
back, and then there's one that's staples, if you'll get one of each. When are you ready for me, Ron? Okay. Well, again, I'm Stephen Anderson with W. Shaw and Associates. We have a local agency here in Hendersonville. Been in business since 1988. My partner Mike Dodd and I bought the agency back in 2010. My partner is an ERISA attorney, has a master's degree in tax law, so we bring a few advantages and services to our clients that most general brokers don't have. I think there's only one broker that I'm aware of, and they're a national broker that actually has an ERISA attorney on staff. Some of them have them on retainer. We have one that's a partner, so that's pretty cool. Our primary focus is group benefits. What I'm gonna talk to you guys about today, though, is a pretty cool product that I've seen come out. It's been out a few years, but it's really gathered steam probably here in the last 3 or 4 years. You know, if you think about individual needs, we all know at some point in life we're gonna pass away, and we all know that. It's something, it's kind of morbid, it's not something we wanna think about, but we need to have things at least covered from a burial standpoint, final expense standpoint, as we have a mortgage, as we have debts, as we have kids going in college later in life. You have to have some things that are amplified a little bit to cover all those needs if you were to unfortunately pass away sooner than expected. So everyone's heard of life insurance. You have individual disability insurance, which is also pretty important because our greatest asset is the ability to get up every day and earn a paycheck. And if that's taken away, which is actually a greater risk than you dying, that's important to make sure that you have income coming in to take care of you and your family. And then you have things down the road as you get a little bit older and life happens and you see other things happen to other people. You start seeing people needing nursing home care and having unfortunate situations like a major accident happen or cancer or a heart attack or stroke. And so, you know, assisted living, home health, all those things come into play. But we don't think about those a lot of times tied in with thinking about life insurance and protecting our family and so forth. So what you've got in front of you, and there's a bunch of different carriers that we actually work with. This is National Life Group. But this is going to talk a little bit about a life policy that has 4 components covered in it. If you pass away, it obviously pays a death benefit. If you had something major happen, like we talked about, a catastrophic event, a major car accident, you had cancer diagnosed, you had a heart attack or stroke happen, it pays and it graduates as you have a policy, a percentage of the payout on the life benefit. So, you know, the first year if you had something happen, it may pay $80,000 if you had a $200,000 benefit, and it'll grow as you have the policy. Then the other part of it is down the road, or if again you had a major catastrophic event and needed assisted living, home health, or nursing home care, it also has a long-term care component that's built into it, which is pretty neat. Again, it's based on, and there's a chart that it gives you whenever we pull quotes, based on how many years you have it. It starts with a minimum benefit and it grows over time, so that as you know, we get older, risk goes up, things could happen, you've got more of a benefit as you get older. And then the fourth thing, which is I think the coolest part about this, you take the you know, the proper steps to make sure you have life insurance and you have all these things covered. Most of the time we don't talk about what happens when life goes right. You don't pass away, you didn't get disabled, you didn't have any of those unfortunate things. This also provides retirement income, tax-free. So if you put money into it, it grows over time, you have all these facets covered, and depending on when you take it out, it can start paying at age 65 or age 70, you can get a benefit paid back out tax-free. So my wife and I actually just took one of these policies out just to kind of give you a simple you know, illustration or whatnot. We took out a $250,000 policy on both of us. We're in our late 40s, and you know, it has all the components in there for life insurance. It'll pay that benefit if we pass away. It's got long-term care benefits. It's got all the other stuff. But at age 70, it'll pay $18,000 a year per person in tax-free benefit. Now, if you ramp that amount up, it's going to take the retirement piece up. You can also overfund the premium, and there's limits on that. The government won't let you just stock everything away. If you're doing 401k, they limit what you can go here. you're doing mutual funds on top of your other retirements, you can't just load this thing up. But a lot of people don't think about a life chassis being a way to shelter income down the road. So, not gonna spend a lot of time walking through the brochures, they're pretty self-explanatory, but, this is something I thought would be worth spending a few minutes on. It's something kind of new. Like I said, there's multiple carriers that provide it. I've got a gentleman in our office, we've got multiple contracts with broker dealers, but this one particular broker dealer is through Andrew Bolt with Bolt Financial Consulting. And this is kind of what he focuses on. He sits down with folks and tries to look at life insurance and retirement and taking care of their kids and college, expenses and all the other things that can happen. And this is a pretty cool product, and it's very moderately priced, I think, for the benefits that it provides. And it's very customizable.
What's the index?
Well, if you kind of look in there, I didn't put that page in there because it gets a little confusing. Most of these carriers, when you look, and this is a universal life plan, they'll give you what the S&P is doing and show you like the last 5 years or the last 10 years, and then they kind of show you what their track record's running. It's running, they can't promise that, obviously, but it's actually running better than the average. It's probably, on the average, it's probably between 4.5 and 6. They're probably more like 8 to 10%. So it's also got some protection on that too, where if you have, if it's growing and it has some downtime, you don't actually lose. It just kind of caps it. You don't maybe grow a whole lot that year, but it doesn't make you lose value. So pretty cool benefit. There's a couple ways you can build it. Yeah. This is, an index universal life plan. It's at least the brochure that I got. You can do it on a straight term. You can do it more tilted toward just general whole life. You can do universal life. It's got a lot of abilities based on what you're looking for or what you're trying to accomplish.
Is this primarily a product that is just for groups in general?
This is individual.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, it is
Okay.
individual.
And I thought I
Okay.
said that, so if I didn't, I apologize.
That's really cool.
This is, our agency primarily focuses on groups, but we have a lot of people that have individual needs.
Okay,
So we
awesome.
do individual life, we do individual long-term care plans, hybrid life plans, individual disability, Medicare supplements and advantage plans. And some of that comes off of our groups.
Okay.
You're working with a group
I
and
gotcha.
you're doing what's best for the company as a whole, and then the owner of the company has different needs, or some of the higher wage earners there have some different needs. Everybody needs life insurance, but this product has kind of a certain niche or certain fit. So it's a good product.
Could this or other products you have be payroll deduct?
They can. I need to see if there's something set up like this where it's set up through the company. I know you can normally do, like if you do a husband and wife, they'll normally give you some discounts.
Okay.
You can do long-term care the same way. I know you can do bank drafts. I know you can set it up on quarterly and monthly and so forth. I just don't know if you can actually set it up through payroll deduct.
Okay,
We've got options on the other side of the coin, but they're not gonna be built like this.
right.
So you can go in, as little as 2 people, 3 people, set up base life insurance or set up a little voluntary life insurance plan, and it can be payroll deducted.
Okay.
Yeah. But it wouldn't be like this. It'd be just straight term life or whole life.
Cool.
Well, thank you for your time.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Steve.
Any questions for Stephen?